Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Falcon Blues TV. I'm Sachin, your American host, and we're going to be going over the Man U and by association VAR. This match on Sunday was in stark contrast to last year's fixture, in which Marco Silva's Blues ran riot over Man U with a 4-0 beatdown. Gylfi Sigurdsson got on the score sheet that day, and unfortunately, he couldn't provide the winner, even though the ultimate winner was proven to be disallowed due to some disappointing and shocking decisions, but we'll get into that a bit later. To go over the match, we looked the better side. Other than about 10 minutes where Man U started to press and Hem was back in our own half in the first half, we looked the complete better side. Unfortunately, I made a comment to myself about 60 minutes in, a few minutes after Gylfi missed that free kick off the post, that the better teams find a way to get a result in matches like this. And I thought we did, but unfortunately, the man Chris Kavanagh and the fat clown twat John Moss had differing ideas, which we'll get into. But the match, I thought our youngsters played quite well. Dom obviously started us off with a flying start. Mason didn't really put a wrong foot forward. Tom Davies in the second half was exquisite, had a couple brilliant first time balls into the channels that could have been finished off. First half he was a bit disappointing, but everyone kind of was, to be honest. There wasn't really a stand-up performer other than, probably Dom, maybe Bainesy. He had a great match. I think though we definitely have an identity moving forward under Carlo. This 4-4-2 starting to get locked in, even though the midfield is rotating at the moment due to injury and just injuries, I guess, with Delph or not Delph, Schneiderlin being out for 8 weeks, I think, with a meniscus tear, and Don Carlo decided to change things up a little and put Davies and Gomez in the middle, which I was happy about. I think that those two, Davies being the energy, Gomez being the creative, recycling midfielder, could work well. Unfortunately, you have Gylfi playing as a left mid, which is not his strong suit. Can't really tackle, doesn't really have the pace, really only, can pick a pass out and is good off set pieces in my personal opinion. But he gets a start. Richarlison, Dom up top, can't fault that. They have been brilliant the past few weeks. The Man U match really should have been 3 points. I've said it before and I said it again. Good teams take their chances, and we shouldn't have to rely on a VAR decision to give us the 3 points. I know that we've been cheated. Brighton comes to mind, where we gave up a terrible penalty call that wasn't a penalty. That's the one that is probably the most egregious error up to this point, because that call was utterly atrocious. There is no way. I've watched it at least 50 times, and every time I'm more convinced that that is a Stonewall goal or a Stonewall penalty on Gylfi from the challenge from Wan-Bissaka prior to the Dom shot and rebound. But regardless, it should be 3 points to the Toffees. There's no other way around it. But to get over the elephant in the room, VAR, it is a farce. They mean well, they truly do. But I struggle to think of a league in which it has been rolled out successfully. MLS, I've gone to matches. It's a joke. When you're in the stand, you have no idea what's going on. Referees just listening to the man on the telly, and then they make their decision. And this could happen 5, 6 minutes after the incident even occurred. So, and the MLS doesn't work. The PL doesn't work. Champions League doesn't work as well. The issue is that they want to establish accountability and transparency, but they've done it the opposite. You have people hiding behind screens in which they don't even show you the incident being reviewed, and then they come up with essentially whatever narrative they want to fit the bill. There is no way that that decision against Dom and the Toffees on Sunday should have stood. There's no way. That is always a goal, and John Moss should never have anything to do again with Everton. VAR and the PGMIOL, the FA, they've all gotten it wrong. They have no idea what to do unless their master plan is to bin off VAR at the end of this year due to how bad it has been. If that's their plan, then they've done it everything spot on. But if they actually want to improve the game and make it more transparent to the fans, the players, the managers, then they've gone about it completely the wrong way. If anything, it makes the game worse. It slows it down. It confuses players, managers, the fans. It incenses the fans and everyone else. it just ruins the game of football. And this is all said has been said before, but it needs to be said again because Everton are always on the losing side of VAR. We have no penalties. Man United have 10. I think I saw where Man United's net score due to VAR is +8 and we are -2. They aren't even pretending to hide the agenda these days, you know? They the FA, Mike Riley, I think it is, whoever's in charge of this need to be let go immediately because they are doing it completely wrong. I don't know if it'll get better, but what I do know is that Everton will completely be on the wrong end of the stick. We will not be shown any love by the powers that be. The only people that will show us love are our fans and Don Carlo. Thank God we have him. It was refreshing to see him. He did the red card was completely undeserved on Sunday, but I like that. We need a bit of snide. The only people to get stuck in, especially with the referee, are Mason, Dom, and Tom Davies. And that's sad because those are our youngest players. You need our leadership, Coleman, Bainsey, other players to show that they care essentially by going to the referee and voicing their displeasure. I get that Baines and Coleman are quieter, but when they're the veteran leadership, you need them to show a bit of gamesmanship. They know it's the Premier League. They know what it takes to win. If we really want to kick on and break this top six, we need to take out all the tricks, all the stops that every other club uses and uses to our advantage. I have confidence for the future because I know Don Carlo knows this. Don Carlo, bless his soul, may he live long and reign with Toffees as long as he wants. He is the answer to our solution. The officiating won't get better, but the results will. Because with Carlo Ancelotti at the helm, I am firmly confident that we will begin playing a pragmatic style that incenses the other team because they don't like what we're doing. And hopefully the players start getting stuck in and showing other players and the referee that the toffee is not being pushed around. Anyways, a little bit of a rant, but I feel like I was pretty coherent. But up the fucking toffees, Colin Chong.